talking about the truth about being alone as we age. I believe that loneliness is one of the greatest killers of our spirit. So we're going to be talking about seniors today. I help people of all ages, but today we're just going to focus in on seniors and this thing called aging, right? So just recently, I was called to a nursing home. I'm an advocate for people when they can't make decisions, and I don't walk in fear. So 6 adult children are trying to make a decision about grandmother, their mother, because she's in rehab and now she's either going to go to her home or she's going to go into some type of assisted living. But I'm called in because one of these children is a client of mine, and she says, I can't do it anymore, Georgie. They're just arguing. So when I get there, 6 children are just fighting. I mean, treating each other really badly. And then there was 1 or 2 of them that were just quiet. They're just quiet and observing, right? But I said, has anybody asked grandmother what she wants? Oh no, they were all just arguing about what they thought was important rather than asking her. And so the comment that the grandmother said when I got there and I started doing some hands-on healing on her, she says, I'm putting your love in my heart. I'm not talking about what I'm feeling from you, Georgie. She was so thankful that I was there, right? So I'm Georgie Holbrook. I'm a holistic health educator. I teach ancient wisdom about how to maintain your body, how to do prevention, because a lot of this stuff could be prevented. And I've been doing it for 30 years. I've taught in 16 states, and I just love what I teach because my life would be a whole lot different if I didn't know what I know about nature and how to maintain this body, and that we don't have to age, right? So click the link below. I have a newsletter that comes out, and together we can learn a better way to live than being lonely. So loneliness, we don't need to do loneliness. That's a choice of just deciding I don't need to be depressed. So I believe that 80% of dementia and Alzheimer's could be prevented. It comes back to our lifestyle. How are we living? How are we maintaining this body? We maintain our cars far better than we maintain our bodies. But I love educating people around this. So let's just take a breath here and look at, what do you want? So if I'm working with a couple, this is always interesting, is that when you talk about doing a will and what are their preferences, they don't want to talk about it. And they sure don't want to agree on it. But you as an individual, I want you to really get this. You as an individual need to make some decisions, because the reality, we're all going to die. And pretending like it's never going to happen and that some buddy out here is going to take care of you and grant you your wishes if they don't know what your wishes are, or they're going to take over your own life. You want to spell that out, and you want to have it in paper and documented so that you are taken care of, regardless if you have a spouse that doesn't want to go that route. Take care of yourself, male or female, right? Where your assets are going to go. So pretend with me that if you had 6 months to live, right? And that was you knew that the end was in sight. What kind of decisions would you make? Where would you want to travel? Who would you want to hang around with? Would you still sit there mundane in front of that TV going every day, just being numbed out? No. You might want some classes that you're going to take. Be with somebody that really inspires you. Maybe make a phone call for somebody that you haven't talked to for a long time. So if we have a deadline, sometimes it forces us to make decisions, right? So you'll notice that some of these diagnoses, the 3rd largest killer in the United States is prescribed medication. So that should tell us something. So please look up, if you're on medication, the side effects, right? They claim that antibiotics can stay in your liver for 2 years. I don't know, but study it yourself and make that kind of decision. Like, what are the decisions, right? So in my hometown, there was elders, and still today elders, They'd gather their friends around and say, tonight I'm leaving. This is my time. I'm going on. And so they share their life story, and without potions or lotions or whatever, they know how to just take this breath and die easy. In my same hometown, people that I knew as a child are sitting there for 10 years begging to die. Now, what's the difference, right? Just my own belief is that medication is just holding us back. And then there's the people with the dementia, Alzheimer's, that are sharing their story. I mean, vivid, right? So here's how it looks, is that I'm an emotional wellness mentor. If we haven't healed our traumas from our past, our childhood, our teenage years, our adult years, whatever's happened to us, and we've just stuffed those hurts over and over again, trying to pretend like they never happened, right? So I'm not talking about reliving them, but this sacred body has accumulated all those stories, and it's showing up in our health issues. Absolutely. I can just prove that over and over and over again, that our honest body tells our stories and that we can reverse them. So by sharing with me and releasing this story from your body, maybe many stories, right? That in the end, when you have dementia or Alzheimer's as a way of just checking out from this story, then you won't be the one that when I'm there and you're in the death process, that all of a sudden sits up in bed, loud, clear, telling that story about being raped as a kid. Honestly, I've seen this over and over and over again, that each body part has an emotion behind it, and it's trying to tell our story. And we haven't put the two dots together. We just think that the family secret is a family secret. It's not a family secret. So let me just tell you a brief story about my mom and dad. So my mom and dad were married for like 50, 60 years. And in the end, somehow my father was involved with one of those men's group. It's very popular anyway in the world. And he was convinced that he would take his money and hide it. And my father had been in business and he had a big shop, and mother would quiz him. So where's this money going? What did you do with it? And my father was the silent kind. Maybe you've been around somebody like that, was just silent. He'd just get up and he'd walk out. This is like, it's none of your business to my mother. So when I got involved with my father in a nursing home, mother said, go to the nursing home. Now my father's got dementia. Go to the nursing home and ask your dad, what did he do with that money? Where do we look for it, right? And I'm like, yeah, where do we look for it now that we're going to be selling the home and you know, all the things. And so I'd go to the nursing home. This was the wrong time, right, to actually ask this question. So I'd say, Dad, where did you store that money? And he would just look at me, because now there was nobody home. He was just, his mind had gone. And I was like, oh, how life could be different, right? If couples could communicate, or if you're not in a relationship, that you communicate with loved ones and share what you want, what you have, rather than having all these secrets, thinking that I'm never going to die and I never have to share it with anybody. And then in the end, so another friend of mine had this belief that his mother pretty well knew when she was going to be dying, so that he would know also when he was going to be dying. So he wasn't going to do a will, because he was going to be smart enough to know when this was going to happen. Well, that didn't happen for him. He fell, he went brain dead, and instantly died. And then I was like, wow, how sad. Now all his children know nothing about where he's got things. And so just the heartache of thinking that you don't have to share with your family, you don't have to share with anybody, you don't have to have any legal kind of papers, is foolishness. It's just absolutely foolishness, but it's very, very hurtful to not go the next step and say, okay, what if I died today? Am I prepared? So what did you get out of this video? Number one, we don't want to do lonely. If you're feeling lonely, just decide today, enough's enough. I don't need to do that. And there's classes to take, there's volunteers, you can do volunteering. There's all kinds of things that just all of a sudden, if you just open your mind to saying, I am not going to sit here and let my worship be this TV and just numb out every day, no circulation, no exercise, no deep breathing, and doing it every day in hopes of dying. Or the other people that I meet is like they think they have to have some major health issue in order to die, right? Well, you have to die from something, Georgie. And I'm like, not necessarily, not necessarily. You can learn how to give up your spirit and be the one that's the calm one that just lets go rather than fighting it to the end. Because you see, in my world, death is a graduation. Death isn't the end, but it can be a celebration of a life well lived and a life well planned for, right? So from my heart to yours, I hope that you sign up for my newsletter. I'm in the holistic field. I teach prevention. I teach you how to prevent a lot of the things that are coming down. And that's value, that's gift. Nobody can take that away from you once you understand the mechanics of your body and how to reverse it. So if you scratch your arm today and it heals, for all of us, right? Then for sure, whatever your health issues, that spirit within you, that divine spirit, knows how to reverse just many, many, many health issues. And I've witnessed it over and over and over again. There's a big emotional component that many people deny. No, my health issue is separate from my emotions and my stress and my stories, but it's not. We're all one person. So from my heart to yours, I hope you gained from this video and sign up for my newsletter. I would love to have you in my life, and together, see, together, it's not just about me. We can ripple this message out and say, let's do it different. Let's do this thing called living alone and aging and death differently. Love you. Bye for now. From my heart to yours, send you love, feel the love, and I look forward to meeting you soon. Any way that I can help you, I am here. Bye now.